Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here. This is the Haws Total Solution webinar. This is the 4 steps to ANSI compliance and reliability presented by yours truly, Justin Dunn. This will be a pretty brief webinar compared to our others in the past, but packed with a lot of really important information, useful tips and steps across this reliability chart we have here on the right. We're going to go over a lot of information today. I'm going to move very quickly. And let me give you a little layout of what it is that we're going to cover. So we're going to cover a little bit of information about your odds across all facilities from an emergency equipment first aid standpoint and what that actually looks like. We're going to cover Haws site surveys and why they're so important. How to fix those issues once we discover them through the site surveys, right? We know what's wrong. How are we going to correct those? How are we going to bring things back into compliance? How do I correct our path and ensure first aid safety is being delivered properly inside my facility, right? How do I take those additional steps with Haws tempering to ensure that I'm delivering tepid flushing fluid to these pieces of equipment? And then how do I keep all of that on track? How do I take my hands off the steering wheel and ensure that the car will keep driving straight? And that brings us to Haws services. That's what we're going to use to help maintain all the hard work we just pumped into the program in your facility, in discovering what's wrong, fixing what's wrong, tempering our water, and then keeping us on track moving forward. Okay, so let's get into it. This is the Haws Total Solution. This is a beginning to end solution for you, which is really what we strive to be for you, is a solution provider, right? Taking as much information and resources as we possibly can and putting them into your hands, helping to empower you to improve upon and maintain your emergency equipment as best as you possibly can, right? Because lives, well-being is on the line, and we want to make sure this equipment is going to work when it matters most. And that's what this is all about, okay? Now we're going to play a little game to start. We're going to do something a little more unusual than you would find on a webinar, but this is, these are very real odds that I'm about to mention based on our work over years. And I'll explain this in a couple slides, but I'm sad to say you have a 1 in 4 chance. That's it. You have a 1 in 4 chance, which are terrible odds, even here in Reno, Nevada. If you're in the casino, absolutely terrible odds in finding properly functioning, properly maintained emergency equipment. The odds of you reaching a combination eye face wash and safety shower and it working correctly, 1 in 4 odds, which are absolutely terrible ones. Just like you see there on the right, it's definitely a dice roll. Now, the game I want you to play is very simple. I want you to pick one of these doors. I want you to pick a number and keep that number in your mind's eye, okay? Keep that number, and we're gonna play a little game. This is your 1 in 4 odds here, okay? Now, for anybody that chose door number 1, you got the Eye Blaster 3000, you got the Brain Washer, injurious flow. This is what you're gonna run into, okay? Extreme amount of water, too much pressure. This is gonna hurt way too much to keep your face in for an extended period of time. If you chose door number 2, pick your favorite eye. Low flow, there's not enough water here. Maybe it wasn't properly plumbed. Maybe the equipment requires so much water it's impossible for it to keep up, or for your supply line to keep up for that matter. Door number 3, this is a concrete manufacturing facility, and those are, we had to hit with a wrench to open up. Sealed closed, and if you chose door number 4, congratulations. It's a fully functioning combination unit with shower and eye face wash and life-saving technology, okay? These are very real odds. These are very real situations that you can run into. And our work over the course of years and years and years has really given us a lot of insight into your facilities across the US, across Canada, across the world, and compliance is really not what it should be. But I'm going to help. I'm going to give you some of the steps that we can take to help bring situations like this back into compliance, discover what's wrong, and fix those things. So here we go. This is the total solution. It's again, it's kind of a beginning to end solution to those types of situations, to the issues in your facility, how to discover them, how to fix them, how to maintain them. Okay, and step one begins with our shower survey program. Whatever it looks like, we of course we have a program that you can take advantage of. It's absolutely free. It's 100% free, but this is what it looks like. So from a site survey perspective, our goal is that you are just getting a bookmark on the page that says that you know your current state of compliance inside of your facility. I know exactly what's going on. I know the state of the emergency equipment. I know what's working. I know what's not working. We have measured everything from head to toe, and we have a program that can do that. So it's our shower survey program. These are some of the reports that you can expect from us if you partake in this particular program. It is important that you are testing. It is important that you are maintaining your equipment, and we know you're busy. We know you have a lot of things to focus on, and I would highly suggest inviting us along to help as take this portion of it off of your shoulders. Okay. Now this program is free. Okay. We have experts trained by yours truly that will do a full free day evaluation on site to ensure compliance across your facility, measuring everything, checking everything, activating everything, and discovering any issues, and then putting it in a well thought out, well put together report, just like you see here. You'll get photos, full evaluations, comments on what is wrong as it's measured against the ANSI Z358.1-2014 standard. Okay. Now, this is based on 3,000 surveys, 56,000 assets surveyed. Okay, this is a lot of work we've done to get to this point, and this is what compliance really looks like. It's actually closer to really a 1 in 5 chance. 12% compliance across the board that we've been able to find. 12% fully adhering to the Z358.1 standard, functioning correctly, signage in place, dust covers in place, everything measured out and working correctly. The extra 10% you see there, that's tertiary issues, stuff that's not going to actually affect the performance of the unit. The sign was missing, dust covers weren't in place, etc. And the Pac-Man size portion of the pie chart, unfortunately, is non-functioning equipment. The eye wash, you had that extreme injurious spray. The shower didn't have enough water and is trickling out. It's not aligned properly. All of those issues are tied up in that gigantic chunk of that pie chart there. Okay. Now, this program is very important as step one. Okay, because what we're doing is saying, here's everything that's wrong. Okay, here's everything that could be a potential issue for you, for your employees and their safety in the future, for litigation, for OSHA compliance, for so many things. But what we don't want to do is just leave you hanging, right? We don't want to tell you everything that's wrong and not give you any other solutions on how to fix those things. We will leave you with a list of recommendations on how to fix each of those items that we just found. Okay, some of those are going to be as easy as a retrofit. Some of those are going to be more complicated, right? Supply lines will have to be adjusted or cleared out. You get nasty growth and things like that. And one of the easiest ways that we can fix some of those things, the easiest steps that we can take, is utilizing Haws Axion MSR technology. Okay, and that is step 2 in this pie chart. Utilizing Axion technology, we can solve 5 of the most common issues that emergency equipment has. Okay, we initially started with this equipment just trying to provide something that was medically superior, something that was going to work in a fashion that would actually medically improve the odds that you are going to keep your eyes, that you are going to avoid skin grafts, that you are going to avoid additional surgeries to bring you back up to speed. We wanted something that was more efficient. And that's how we started. And then we realized as we got down the road, this fixes so many other issues that we have with emergency equipment, both with our equipment in the past and our competitors' equipment, the Guardians and Bradleys and Encons, etc. We could retrofit. We could fix all of these through retrofit kits, and that's what we did. Okay, so from a medical's perspective, 43% reduction in contaminants when using our inverted flow, the Axion technology, which I'll show you here in a second. And then flushing inside to out preferred 4-to-1 by ophthalmologists. This was based on an independent study. You know, toothpaste and eye washes. There's always that one doctor. But it's what we did is finally we went to a nurse and we said, well, how do you flush an eye? What's the proper technique? And they showed us, and we developed that into technology that we offer today. So that's the Axion head there over on the right. It's a single head design, which helps prevent the splitting of the water and additional issues. But it's a gentle flushing flow. It covers your full face, and it is designed to be a more gentle experience than the brain washer you saw earlier. It's gentle, it's an even flow, it utilizes flow controls. Now what this can do is update outdated technology, right? All of us have units that have been sitting around for years that just need a technology update on the endpoints of that device, and that's what this can do. It fixes major compliance issues. It works on all brands of equipment across the world, even not just here in the US or in Canada. The brands that you're familiar with. There are brands out there that sneak over here to the US. Shanghai Dragon, there's a bunch of different ones out there. If you ordered your eye wash on Wish, we can retrofit that. Most of the equipment utilizes the same size fittings generally. There's going to be some oddballs out there, but all the ones that you're going to be familiar with here, this can retrofit. It's about 80% conversion for existing users. It saves time and money in that you're not replacing a whole unit, you're just retrofitting the technology at the end points, the exit points of the water on the equipment, the shower head and the eye face wash. Okay, it also frees up your maintenance for other tasks, right? They don't have to deal with this grand orchestra of replacing equipment across your facility. I just have to go out, twist off the old head, twist on the new head, and it's fixed. Installation is incredibly simple and comes with a great series of instructions to do so. Now, one of those kits is the AX16. This is one of our newest kits. If you're a hospital, if you're a school, if you're a university, if you're a lab, if you're some sort of, and most facilities, honestly, across the board, even your dentist office, may have a piece of technology like this in their counter. This is a deck-mounted drench hose, but any of the equipment you see here on the right, as long as it's a countertop swing or pull-down activated piece of equipment, the AX16, Haws AX16 kit is the retrofit kit that you're going to want. We can retrofit any of the competitors that have that countertop mounted equipment. If it's a drench hose, an eye wash, an eye face wash, it doesn't matter. We can retrofit our eye face wash like you see. This is the kit over here on the right. Comes with a gauge, tape measure, so you can immediately check compliance, and all of the fittings and arms that require you to retrofit this type of equipment so we can bring it back into compliance. And that is the AX16 kit. Just last year, it won the OH&S 2022 New Product of the Year, which was very exciting for us. We were thrilled to receive that award, and it has been an incredibly useful kit so far. Next up is the AX15. This is a very specific kit for the Bradley Halo. It also suffers from some issues, some flow issues here and there, injurious or low flow. Our Axion technology utilizes the smallest, the least amount of water across the board for an eye face wash and shower head. We have limited water to the absolute minimal amount that you need, and we're just using it as intelligently as possible. So if you are suffering low flow issues and stuff like that, certainly for like NCONs and stuff like that, we can dial that pressure back and use it smarter so that there's more water supplied to the eye face wash and the shower head, just evenly distributed. This one, I know it kind of looks like Gandalf's smoking pipe, but it is a very simplistic kit with a very specific use, and that's to retrofit this Bradley Halo, as it has a rear supply from the bowl. You can also purchase the shower head separately to help push pressure back down to this unit. And that brings us to two of our main kits. So this is the AX14. This is a much more a broad use kit that you see here on the right. Comes with the shower head, the eye face wash head, dust cover, adapters for every brand and type, and covers 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and 1/2 inch centralized supplies in the bowl, just like you see here. So on the left, you have a Guardian. We've got a before and after shot of flow from a combination unit. So the shower's been activated, the flow has dipped from the eye face wash, then that's the Guardian's eye face wash. And what we've done is retrofitted it. We've added our Axion technology to the centralized supply on that equipment. We've updated the technology to a single head design, so we don't have splitting of water. You know, the water can't just prefer one side over the other. We can't get clogs or buildups in one side. And rather than a foam insert, it has an ABS plastic insert inside the head to prevent any debris from spraying out of the head. But this retrofit kit will cover Acorn, Bradley, NCON, Guardian, Haws equipment across the board. Okay. Now the other side of this coin, so this is for simultaneous use where you need to regulate the pressure in the shower and regulate the pressure in the eye face wash, okay? The issue is usually the shower head. Shower heads on this type of equipment can dump 30 plus gallons per minute, unregulated, unchecked. Doesn't include flow controls to help limit that water, and it will starve the eye wash or eye face wash. This kit, through the utilization of flow controls, will help regulate that water pressure and bring it back into compliance. The other side of this is the AX13 kit. This includes an eye face wash head with no shower head. This is for the situations where you see here on the left, you have uneven flow rates, injurious flow rates, and we just need to dial that down, that pressure, and control it in an even fashion. You can see our eye face wash doing its work there on the right hand side. It has dialed that pressure back down, even the flow out, and we're back immediately into compliance. Okay, comes with everything else that the kit came with before, just without the shower head, because there's no shower here. If there was and we still had that injurious flow, the AX13 would do its work just fine on that piece of equipment as well. Now for Haws equipment, because we have outdated equipment out there too, we had a bullhorn style type of equipment, which is just outdated. It's been that way since gosh, the 50s even. You had the bullhorn style eye washes and eye face washes, and we have our own retrofit kits. We have our own repair parts. So the SP829 shower head and the SP65 eye face wash head, we can bring outdated Haws equipment back into compliance as well. You can see here an uneven flow rate on the left, retrofitted with Axion, we're back into compliance. It also comes in a full line of stainless steel for those areas that are more corrosive or corrosion issues are in the area. We have a full lineup of stainless steel parts as well. Now some of those issues, just so you have a visual on them, are the most serious ones are simultaneous flow, injurious, and eye face wash or eye wash flow patterns that you see there on the right. Now simultaneous use, I described to you before, shower starving the eye wash, and that's what it looks like. You have a low flow, starved flow from the eye wash or eye face wash. This is easy to retrofit with the Axion. We would use an AX14 in that case. And then you have the injurious flow. There's nothing dialing back this pressure from the eye wash or eye face wash. way too injurious. There's no way anybody could put their eyes in this for 15 minutes. AX13 would fix this particular situation. And then you have your uneven flow rates. It's just that style, that bullhorn. It's, again, the water could prefer one side. You could have buildup in one side. You could have the little spongy filter inside of it just broke up and clogged the heads. If you go to a single head design without those foam inserts, etc. in it, you get a nice even flow. This would be an AX13 fix. Okay, and in utilizing this technology to bring your compliance back into, or bring your equipment back into compliance, it doesn't make sense to do this next step, Haws tempering, without ensuring that your equipment is working properly, that it's functioning properly, the spray patterns are correct, it's delivering first aid correctly, and then we can move on to the more complicated step, which is Haws tempering. And this is what it looks like. This is what some of the equipment looks like. You have your 8780 on the left-hand side there. This is an indoor emergency water tempering skid. You drop it in place, power, water, and you can supply tepid flushing fluid to this emergency equipment across your facility. Plumb it into the line, and you can knock out a whole section of your facility. You also have the outdoor version there, all-weather emergency water tempering booth. Same thing on the inside, just with walls to protect it from freezing. You also have the 9326 and 9327. Those are separate part numbers there. That's an electric instantaneous heater, but not like you would see at home. This is a monster. This is designed for emergency equipment specifically. This will pump out an enormous amount of hot water very, very quickly. So you pop it in place. You need some pretty serious power on site to hook this thing up, but once you do, it's inactive until the water line is activated for that emergency equipment, and then it's working. You have emergency equipment immediately to the endpoints of that shower or iFace wash, and you can hook it up to multiple pieces of equipment. And then you have the 9400 there. That's our steam option. If you have steam on site and we can utilize that, we can. That's a free resource. We also have an instantaneous heater to utilize your steam on site to provide hot water to your equipment. This is a little breakdown of the tempering skid and what you see there. So it has a lot of cool little features. You have your water in and water out. You can hook it up to a recirculation loop. I'll show you a little example here in a moment of what that looks like. You have your hot water tank, your mixing valves straight from Haws. That's our mixing valves that are built in. You also have a variable frequency drive. So we don't have to do so much engineering to fit this to your site. This will automatically, through some adjustments to the variable frequency drive, adjust to your facility and the pressure. And you have the booster pump built in, recirculation pump. So it's pumping and actively pushing water through your system if that's the type of system you want to set up. You need over 45 PSI in your facility if you're going to use one of those. You have to have electricity available, obviously, and we can either do one or multiple pieces of equipment at a time. Okay, so we have larger tank options for 2 showers simultaneously at the same time as well. So these are generally setups for over 15 minutes of water for one particular piece of equipment for an incident. But if you have the scenario where multiple people might be affected at the same time, you have a larger tank for simultaneous pieces of equipment at the same time. You also need a pipe size that's over an 1.5 inches and a 2-inch minimum for 2 showers at the same time. We can also set one of these up with a piece of emergency equipment directly attached to it if you want to. That would be an 8780 plus one of our typical combination showers, like an 8300, 8309. This is what a recirculation loop looks like. You'd have your centralized skid feeding a variety of emergency equipment throughout your facility. This would be constantly circulating tepid, heated water, so it is always currently available at all of the equipment in your facility, and upon activation, you would be good to go and compliant. Some of the other accessories that you can take advantage of is there is a water hammer arrestor kit for the instantaneous heater. You have some of our combination units there in the middle, both for indoor and outdoor. that freeze protected jacketed unit is good down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty extreme. And then you have mixing valves, even lead-free mixing valves if you're going to have it hooked up to something that's closer to your break room, etc. But for everything from your deck-mounted eye wash to a combination unit to multiple combination units at the same time, if you already have hot and cold water, you can use a mixing valve and provide that tepid water at the unit very easily by utilizing what you already have. You have our instantaneous heaters there, and of course you have a variety of proximity switches from us too, so that you can be alerted upon activation of emergency equipment, or they through the magnets that they use, they can activate lights and alarms and things like that on the unit, which can also be very, very important. Now, we've discovered what's wrong. We've given you some resources on how to fix that. Axion technology will take care of like 90% of that. It'll dial in that pressure. It'll fix that those issues that you discovered. The tempering will help fix the rest of the issues. If you had 50 degree or lower water, or higher if you're pumping out 110 degree water, there's resources to help fix those, because it's not so likely that your victims are going to stay in that equipment and finish the flushing, which is very, very serious issue. But through the tempering, we can control that, we can fix the rest. And how do we maintain this? How do we keep what we've fought for and what we've worked towards? And that's where Haws services come in. Okay, that would complete this wheel. Step 1, step 2, step 3 are done. We're on to maintaining and care. And that's where our Haws services team comes in. Okay, these are warranty and field service support experts, professionals, certified technical experts to ensure compliance in field, also trained by yours truly. They support adherence to OSHA compliance, joint commission status, and of course your general safety first aid environment needs. Now, these guys will do annual inspections, monthly inspections. There are some sites where we do weekly inspections, and that's all our technician does. Week over week, they're doing inspections on site. We can do a variety of different inspections for your facility. They can do on-site commissioning of product. If you wanted an 8780, we can get that commissioned, set up, compliant, and ready to go. You'll just need to bring in a plumber to hang out with us for a day, that's all. They will do absolutely everything. We just need somebody to make that connection to the water, okay? We can do annual maintenance contracts. Set us up on an annual basis to come pay you a visit and ensure your ANSI compliance, get a full report of your continued compliance and status so that you are fully aware of what's going on, and take that work out of your maintenance team's hands. Don't burden them with that extra work. They have, again, other stuff to worry about. They can also do training and certification, all-inclusive warranty support with equipment as well. So these guys are very professional, very well trained, and are very good at what they do. Okay, and that's how we take that step to ensure our compliance stays where it's at. Okay, now real quick, that's what that pie chart looks like. Step 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is how we get from beginning to end for compliance. Now, I'm going to launch a quick poll question. I've got Hayden, my usual partner, on the back end, kind of running the webinar, and wagging his finger if I'm talking too slow. We're doing great on time. This is a very quick poll question. If you would like us to reach out with additional resources, that's what this poll question is, and then we'll get to a contact us slide. So Hayden, if you would launch that, please.
Yeah, so our one and only poll question today is, please contact me about, and you can select as many as apply to you as possible. And the options are conducting a free site survey at my facility, Haws services inspections, maintenance, and training, or nothing now. Nothing now would be the option if you don't want to be contacted as of right now.
Yeah, if you're not quite ready to move forward, go ahead and select that one. But if you want some additional information and someone to contact you about the option of having us on site and helping you out, please select one of the others. There will also be an email going out that will have additional information for you on each of the things we just discussed. So those resources will be available through that follow-up email as well.
We still have a few responses trickling in, so I'll give it just a few more seconds before closing this one out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you, everyone.
And that brings us to our last slide. This is our Haws technical support team, customer service team. www.hawsco.com is an amazing resource. Sign up for our e-newsletter that'll tell you when webinars are coming up, when new product is available, and things of that sort. It's super, super handy, and we don't bug you too much, I promise. There's a live chat function on hawsco.com if you don't want to speak to somebody directly but still need answers. That is an awesome option. Thank you for being a part of this. Go forth, be champions for compliance, help minimize your on-site risk, and thank you very much for attending. Have a happy Wednesday, and we appreciate you being here. Have a good one. Thank you.